Well, that took a bit longer than expected. There's reboot didn't do anything, restarting OBS didn't do anything, removing and re-adding the capture card didn't do anything, unplugging it and replugging it didn't do anything. But there's a button in OBS that's called defaults, and if you like use open up an existing capture device and set it to defaults, it may reset it. So that was an OBS issue rather than a capture card issue, which is rare considering the capture card isn't really the best thing in the world. My system is at 4.15. 4.2 didn't work, but we also have lower temps now. We're around 9 degrees. Just run physics again. Oh, of course. I have some sort of a weird p-states issue now. That's wonderful. Let's see if we can work around that. Oh God, that's one thing that I don't miss actually, Skylake X has something similar to this, but the mainstream Intel platforms, I haven't heard of them just suddenly dropping the multiplier for no reason. Okay, well, at least it's easily recoverable. Is Firestrike command lineable as well? Like the older 3D Marks, that's a crash. The older 3D Marks, you can just pass a command line argument to say I want to run GT1s till the end of time. I wonder if you could do the same thing with physics here. One of the good things about the stream crashing is always that the title updates in case it hadn't already. It's always fun when that happens. Oh yay! Capture device didn't die. Hi Matthew, how are you doing? Now, this core doesn't seem to be the best in the world. But we can go up to 1.45. That's always a good sign when the download of my ADSL is worse than the upload of my 4G. So I can't actually watch my own stream completely without buffering. That's nice. Okay. The gamer's benchmark. Indeed it is. It is. So much so that it's going to pass at 4.15 now. You can do it. Probably not the best paced job in the world on this IHS at the moment, but it should do the job. That took quite long to run system info, but I'll take it. Yay, over 40 FPS, that's something. Looks kind of stuttery though. I wonder why. I wonder whether it's going to be reflected in the score. Last one was... ooh. think the last one was like 12K or something. Well, CPU frequency didn't drop. That's a good thing. Let's go up quarter mult, because we're on AMD, you see, and we have stuff like quarter multipliers like civilized people do. So, kind of locked in with the OS. I think Bilko tried to get the graphics drivers running on 8.1, Windows 8.1, but didn't seem to work. So 7 is a no-go as well. So since you need graphics drivers, Ryzen in general is fine on 7, but yeah, this is going to be the OS. Oh, an extra 2,000. That was a bugged run then. Okay. Just going to screenshot that just because it potentially could be one of the better runs in terms of core, pure core. Just as a frame of reference. You could call that best PD. Yeah, about that memory, it could be a lot better, but there's no voltage control for memory in Ryzen Master for this motherboard, which I haven't seen before actually. I just assumed that board vendors gave that interface to AMD no matter what, no matter how old or new the board is or whatever. The other ITX board does have it. That's a crash. I'm going to check to see if I can pass physics and combine back to back at 4175, and then I'll leave it at that in terms of core. It's not going to make a huge difference in this bench anyway. I mean, it will on LN2, but it won't right now. All right. Yeah, let's see that profile, apply, verify, open up 3D Mark. So Matthew, this memory does CL10 for some speeds, but it needs a lot of volts, and this motherboard won't give it those volts. I just picked up this motherboard today, so I wasn't aware of what it can and can't do. So physics and combined. So nice to see over 1,000 views, or in total, I mean, for some reason. I mean, it's just a nice number. I was watching a stream last night that had 5 million views. I know there's mega huge streamers, but I mean, in terms of a stream that's, you know, of a realistic size, I'm not saying that an overclocking stream. See, here we see that weird stuttering again. Is this some sort of thermal throttling or TDP throttling maybe? Okay, let's just escape out of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there will never be a soda popping of extreme overclocking. But I watched the stream last night that had 5 million views and gets about between 1,000 and 2,000, depending on the event. And they were like, "Yeah, we don't make much money. This sucks. This is a passion project." So, again, I don't think that any overclocker will get there anytime soon. I'm just saying, even if they did, they couldn't give up their day job, is what I'm saying. All right, no stuttering this time, please. Is there a correlation? Like, is every time system info takes long, is that also when the score is shit? No, apparently not. I wish that they just threw up the score in between the tests, you know? Like GT1 runs and they quickly give you the score while it's loading the next test. It's just so... I'm okay at knowing what the score is going to be just by looking at the FPS, but that's different for every single test inside of every single 3D mark. That's a lot to sort of remember. And then it's also different for every card that you bench and every CPU or whatever. So it just ends up being quite difficult to sort of get a handle of it. Slideshow, look at this, 1.4 FPS, loving it. Now we're looking for condensation. Close to none, actually. Might just chill her down a little bit more. Seven degrees. Okay. Those fluctuations in PTs. I mean, what the hell is going on there? Okay, let's go for... what do people feel like? Graphics test 1 or 2? 1 is nice because it's this weird canyon flight thing. So let's go... let's just go. 10 megahertz at the beginning. Hey, White Shark. It's going okay. I haven't killed anything. Yeah, memory helps. Memory helps a lot. But I'm gonna overclock that later on. I'm at 2800 at the moment. I want to dial in the other stuff first. Oh, that's weird. That didn't apply. I'm glad I check. It's in OS, overclocking programs are funny things because you reckon they would be programmed well enough to tell you, oh, by the way, we weren't able to apply that clock. Gives the most scaling. Yeah, I had a feeling that GT1 was the one to use. But you mean in general, like, I mean, in this case, system memory and graphics card memory is the same, but are you saying that given like infinite system and like infinite core, system core and memory megahertz, then GT2 would be GPU memory bound in general? Is that what you're saying? It's not goddamn applying. Look at this. Okay, apply on the sensors tab. All right. So what we're gonna do is 1240 was where we started off. Let's just go 20 megahertz steps because yeah. On this architecture, there's no such thing as... Oh, there is memory size, 1 gigabyte. But this architecture like dynamically reallocates memory, doesn't it? I don't have to worry about running out. Because combine is really slow. Is that because there's not enough memory? Shouldn't be an issue. Alright, cool. Windows has gotten really aggressive about virus protection and all that kind of stuff. It keeps on giving me a little notification saying, please do this, please do that. No, test isn't off yet. You know, it'll be interesting. What I'll do is I'll find the max clock with tests on, go a little bit above, see if it crashes. When it crashes, run those clocks with tests off and see if... No, it just for my own curiosity, I'm actually gonna see how it affects clocks. If you know what I'm saying. Like, if I turn tessellation off now, I'll be none the wiser what effect it has on the max clocks you can actually pass at. Whereas if I either run all the way up to the max clocks with tests on and then turn off tests and see what effect it has, or like the other way around, I might actually learn something, which is rare. But yeah, white chart you were asking about. Okay, so that's 9.07. I shouldn't quit 3 mark. It doesn't make a difference for GTs. White Shark, you were asking about how it's going. The stream itself is going okay. This is a new board. It's the ASRock board. The problem is I can't set above 1.5 memory volts, which basically means I can't use this board sub-zero. So BIOS will give me 1.5. Ryzen Master doesn't give me any control over memory volts. So, yeah, the Giga board is right here. I may pop that in, depending on how much testing I can do on this board before I just run out of stuff to test. I may actually just swap it. The Giga board does okay. I was hoping for a better 2-dimmer basically, and I got a decent deal on this one, so I thought I'd pick it up. It's turning out to be a bit of a no-go. It's also got really hot VRM temps, which would potentially be concerned under LN2, but yeah, not being able to set more than 1.5 volts for memory is pretty bad. The Giga board funnily enough, goes up to 1.8 in Ryzen Master and I think 2 in BIOS. So that's nice. The Giga board is quite strong for memory overclocking. But it has other weird stuff that I don't like in terms of Giga. But yeah, I think considering how expensive the Strixes are, this is going to be the end of my ITX board buying adventure. I mean, if I found the MSI board, I'd be keen to try that. So that's still scaling nicely. Another 0.4. Profile 1. Can hardly see this. Okay, another 20. Yeah, it's a shame. I must say my preference, all else being equal, my preference would be ASRock over Gigabyte.